Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Saushtvi and today we're doing a very different video from usual. We're discussing everything that I have been watching in the last few months of 2024. I'm obviously very passionate about reading, you guys already know that, but I'm also really passionate about the things that I watch, the TV shows, the movies that I consume, all the series. So I thought I would start like maybe doing a series of this as well every few months where I talk about everything I've been watching. So that's really all that this video is. We'll be going through everything I watch, everything I've been watching. There's quite a bit, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to cover everything in this video, but let's try. So starting off the year, I obviously started the year off with Percy Jackson. Started watching this in December itself, and if you know anything about me, you know that I'm a huge Percy Jackson fan. I grew up reading the Percy Jackson books since I was 12 years old and I'm 24 now. Suffice it to say that I have been waiting for this show for a very long time. I was really excited for it. The cast looked really interesting. They seemed like they have great chemistry. And Rick Riordan, who's the author of Percy Jackson, had promised us that he's going to stay true to the books in the show. So everything seemed like it would be good. The trailer seemed appealing, so I was locked in for the show. And unfortunately, it was a little disappointing. Like, don't get me wrong, I think they've done really good with the cast. The cast is brilliant, they're definitely their own characters. Apart from that, though, the way the show has been shot, the dialogue, the storylines that have been depicted, which are off book and on book, I'm just questioning their choices, why they chose to make the show this way. Friendly Space Ninja has a whole video dedicated to Percy Jackson and everything that's wrong with it and why it didn't work. It's a brilliant video. He's really classified everything that's wrong with the show and why it did not work and why it was disappointing. I highly recommend you go and watch that show. I feel like he just spoke every thought I had in my mind into that video. That video is 2 hours long and I don't have 2 hours to explain to you why I was disappointed with the show. I just was. But I do think the show has a lot of potential. The actors have a lot of potential, so I'm hoping that things get better with every season and season 2 will be even better. We'll see. But Percy Jackson, yeah, definitely a disappointment, unfortunately. After Percy Jackson, I rewatched Another Cinderella Story. Now I rewatched this because I made my boyfriend watch this. He's never seen it before, and it's my duty as his girlfriend to show him the amazing classics of my time, all the great rom-coms and chick flicks. It's my duty, right? And by the way, he liked it. If I had to ask him to be here and give his review, he'll say he didn't like it, but he was enjoying it. I know he was enjoying it, and especially because that movie revolves around dance and both of us are professional dancers, and I know it was good. It was a fun time. It's always been a fun time. It stars Selena Gomez and Drew Seeley, and it's basically like a Cinderella retelling in the modern world. She's a teenager who's living with her stepmom and her stepsisters, and it's the exact same storyline as a Cinderella story, except that in this movie she's a dancer trying to make it to dance school. So it's a fun time. It gives you the 2010 vibes. Selena Gomez, always loved her, grew up watching her. It's a fun time. I would recommend. Okay, after that I had been really missing the Six of Crows vibes, so I thought I'd rewatch Shadow and Bone, and I rewatched season 1 and a couple of episodes of season 2. I still have the rest of season 2 remaining. I don't know why I never finished it, but I will get to it. If you don't know what that's about, Shadow and Bone is based on Leigh Bardugo's books, the Shadow and Bone trilogy and the Six of Crows duology. How do I explain this show to you? It's a dystopian. It's set in this world where people have powers and there's a lot of political discourse as well. It's really hard to explain what the show is about. All I can say is it's a really good show. It's fun, it's dystopian, it has a little bit of a historical fiction vibe. It's really fun. It's super packed with action. The actors are brilliant. I think you'll have a fun time if you like dystopians and fantasies and adventures. So if you like all of that, you should check out Shadow and Bone. Next, this is a little weird, but my cousin sister had come down here for a couple of days, and we love watching any kind of movies, trashy ones, good ones, and we like really get into the nitty-gritty details of it. We start discussing, theorizing. We're always like really experiencing the movie as a whole. We don't just like watch and let it go. And especially we love watching horror movies together. Okay, so we decided to binge the entire Paranormal series. There's 7 Paranormal Activity movies, and we were like, you know what, let's just go for it. It's been a while since we watched them, and I think I remember watching only the first 4 movies as a kid, and I didn't remember them very distinctly either. So we were like, let's just rewatch, let's go through all of them, and it was such a fun time. If you like horror movies, I definitely recommend Paranormal Activity. At least the first 3 movies. Everything else after is a little questionable and meh. But those first 3 movies really were very unique for their time, and they're really good. If you like horror movies, they're really good. They're also like the kind of slow burn horror. The Paranormal Activity series, if you don't know about it, every movie focuses on a family, and basically it's found footage style kind of a movie. So they have like cameras in their house or handheld footage of them every day, living every day in the house and like experiencing some paranormal activity, trying to figure out what's going on. So yeah, it's like it's very found footage horror movie vibes, all those movies. That's actually, I think, where the style came from, if I'm not wrong. I don't know. They're just so fun. We were going through like all kinds of wiki pages and Reddit pages, going through like the details of, oh, how are the movies connected and everything. And by the end of the movies, they really have a lot of plot holes for sure. But those movies are more for vibes, you know. I think pretty much any horror movie is for vibes. So it is a fun time. I would recommend, if you want to watch horror movies with your cousins, your siblings, have a chill time, Paranormal Activity definitely. While she was here, we also watched Marrowbone. Now this is also categorized as a horror movie, but it's not very horror per se. Like if you don't enjoy horror movies but you want to dip your toes in it, I would still recommend the movie. In fact, the movie was really good. I would recommend it even if you don't like horror movies. Yeah, it'll be a little creepy, but it's more atmospheric horror as compared to like horror, you know. It's the eerie vibes and the eerie storytelling, and there's a little bit of mystery in it as well. It's really good, honestly. Like, we hadn't heard of this movie before and we were like, let's just put it on and see. I was fully prepared to be bored, but it turned out to be one of the most interesting watches of the year so far. Charlie Heaton, who plays Jonathan in Stranger Things, is in this movie, which I did not know about. And just overall, all the actors were really great. It's a very unique story as well, like very unique story. And the thing is, while watching the movie, I guessed the plot. Like, it was so unexpected, a very unique twist, and I was able to guess it. I was able to pick up on the hints, and also the twist reminded me of this book that I really like, but I cannot tell you the name of the book, unfortunately, because it will spoil the book or the movie, depending on what you've read or watched. All I can say is it's a great movie. It's a great movie. I definitely recommend. I don't hear anyone talking about it ever, but it's worth a watch. Then I also watched One Day. One Day has been going viral on Netflix. Everyone's talking about it, especially if you're a rom-com lover, and it was really good. I remember watching the One Day movie with Anne Hathaway and also reading the book way back when, and I remember I enjoyed both. I really liked it, so I was looking forward to like what they did with the show, and everyone has been raving about it, so I had good expectations, and the expectations were met. The actors are so good. I'm like looking forward to see what else they come out with, because that was top-notch acting. The way the show was made, it was really fun, really cute. Yes, it gets emotional in the end, and it was just like a really cute package of like a wholesome story that you need, like a wholesome, thoughtful series. It follows these 2 people, Emma and Dexter, and they were in college together, and we basically see them and their lives and how they intertwine every year on the same day. So every episode is the same day of the next year. So I think we follow like about 15 years of their lifetime on that same day. So that's where the one day concept comes from. It was just really good, like just really fun vibes. I would highly recommend, especially if like you've read or watched Love Rosie. Love Rosie is again a movie I love. So if you liked Love Rosie, you should watch One Day. If you've read Normal People by Sally Rooney, or If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nowlin, again, highly recommend One Day to you. You will definitely enjoy the show. And then I rewatched Outer Banks again for the millionth time. Okay, if you don't know what Outer Banks is about, it's about these couple of teenagers, these 5 people. They live in Outer Banks, so they have like the complete like island lifestyle. It's so fun. I love summer and island vibes, and Outer Banks packs it in like no other. Honestly, you truly feel like you're at the island with them. So it's full of that summer life, adventure, island, beach vibes, and it's about these five people trying to find treasure. They're on a treasure hunt basically. One of these five people, John B, his dad was investigating huge treasure, trying to find it, and he got lost at sea while trying to find this treasure. And then a year later, these people come to find a clue about the treasure and they start going on the hunt to find this treasure. It's very like OG Scooby-Doo, adventure, just everything. And also, if you know me, you know that found family is one of my favorite tropes ever. Like, it's top tier. Anything with found family will have my heart. And Outer Banks is found family to the core. Oh my god, I cannot recommend it enough. The further seasons do have their problems, but you're so in love with the characters. You want to know how the story ends, how they find the treasures, what goes on, how their lives change. You're so invested in the story and these characters that it's fine, you can overlook like some of the other issues with the show. Season 1 and season 3 especially, top tier. I love it. And season 4 is gonna come in soon. They're shooting season 4 right now, so I'm so excited. I just cannot wait for season 4, honestly. Like, I have been looking for years to find another show or another movie that will make me feel the way Outer Banks does. Unfortunately, I haven't found anything like that, so I just keep rewatching Outer Banks all the time. But yeah, I cannot recommend it enough. Outer Banks, watch it. And the next thing I want to talk about is this movie called Anyone But You. You might have heard of it. It's a classic rom-com movie that we have gotten after a very long time. I went to watch it with my mom in the theater and we were just laughing the entire time. Okay, it's a movie that you'll have fun with. You do have to switch off your brain a little bit, but it really gives you the OG rom-com vibes. It's funny, it's quirky, there's a lot of chemistry between the actors, and it's what you want from a rom-com. You go there not for the logic but for the vibes and you get it. It's really fun. I enjoyed it. Would recommend. And with that, the video is gonna come to an end. There is more that I can talk about, but I'll leave that for another video. So yeah, I hope you got some recommendations out of this, or if you've been watching or enjoying any of this, let me know. That's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment, as I always say, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.